All right, let's keep going. Here comes question number 32. 32, the instructions say simplify each expression. Okay, so I have 2x times x cubed plus x minus 3x squared times the quantity 5x squared plus 7x minus 2x. Lots of options of what you could do here. I'm going to start by looking at that second parentheses. 5x squared plus 7x minus 2x. I see like terms at the end. I'll make that 5x squared plus 5x. Now I'm going to distribute the 2x through this parentheses and the negative 3x squared through that parentheses. 2x times x cubed is 2x to the fourth. 2x times x is 2x squared. Negative 3x squared times a positive 5x squared is negative 15x to the fourth. Negative 3x squared times 5x is negative 15x cubed. That's pretty good. We can do better. We want to combine like terms, and I want to write my answer in standard form. So I see a positive 2x to the fourth and a negative 15x to the fourth. When I put those together, that'll be negative 13x to the fourth. I have a 2x squared and a negative 15x cubed. Those are not like terms, but I am going to write this in standard form, which is in decreasing powers of x. That is your final answer. That's about as good as you can get. And we only offered 1 point here. Let's look at part B. 8i minus 4 times 2i plus 3. That's a multiplication problem. And the I that we're talking about here is the square root of negative 1. You could multiply this out a whole lot of different ways. I'm a big fan of using the box method. So 8i minus 4, 2i plus 3. And we're just going to multiply term by term. 8i times 2i is 16i squared. Yeah, we're going to do something with that in a little bit. 2i times negative 4 is negative 8i. 8i times 3 is positive 24i. Positive 3 times negative 4 is negative 12. Right now, my answer looks like 16i squared plus 24i minus 8i minus 12. Because we know I is the square root of negative 1, that means that I squared is negative 1. So 16i squared is the same as 16 times negative 1. 24i minus 8i is positive 16i minus 12. 16 times negative 1 is negative 16. Combining these two together, we're going to get negative 28 plus 16i. That's as good as it's going to get. And that was worth 1 point. Okay, finally, we're going to look at a division problem. 6x cubed minus 2x squared minus 16x minus 8, all divided by x plus 1. You've got some options here. In Algebra 1, I believe you all were taught long division. That's where you would do something like x plus 1 dividing into, what is that, a 6? 6x cubed minus 2x squared minus 16x minus 8. And you'd say, how many times does x go into 6x cubed? Or really the right way to say this, x times what is 6x cubed? That'll be 6x squared. You multiply 6x squared with x to get 6x cubed. You multiply the 1 with 6x squared to get positive 6x squared. And now you subtract 6x cubed and 6x cubed, those cancel. Negative 2x squared minus a positive 6x squared is negative 8x squared. And you bring everything else down. You keep going. What do I multiply x by to get negative 8x squared? Well, that'll be negative 8x. Negative 8x times x is negative 8x squared. Negative 8x times 1 is negative 8x. Subtract, those cancel. Negative 16x minus a negative 8x is the same as saying negative 16x plus 8x. So you get a negative 8x. Bring down the negative 8. What do I multiply x by to get to negative 8x? Well, negative 8. Negative 8 times x is negative 8x. Negative 8 times positive 1 is negative 8. When you subtract, those cancel. So do these. Your remainder is 0. So your answer is 6x squared minus 8x minus 8. That's the long division method. Many of you may have learned to do this with the array method. So let me scoot my paper up a little bit. With the array method, you are actually going to make this box, right? Kind of like the box you use if it's multiplication. We're going to start off by saying we are dividing by x plus 1. So the height of this box I'm making is x plus 1. I don't know how long it's going to be, but if I look at the numerator as the area inside of this box, well, then there has to be a box that has an area of 6x cubed. That's going to go in this first position. You're then going to say, well, gosh, if this box has an area of 6x cubed and a height of 6x, what do you know? The length of the box is 6x squared. Well, if the box now has a length of 6x squared and this box has a height of 1, then that's a total area of 6x squared. That's great, but the area that I'm looking for should be negative 2x squared. If I have a positive 6x squared and my goal is to have a combined area of negative 2x squared, I'm going to put a negative 8x squared in this box. If the area now is negative 8x squared, x times what is negative 8x squared? That'll have to be negative 8x. Negative 8x times x is negative 8x squared. Negative 8x times 1 is negative 8x. Those guys cancel. I now have negative 8x. I'm supposed to have an area of negative 16x. So I'm going to create another box here that has an area of negative 8x so that when these are combined, I get the negative 16x I want. X times negative 8 is negative 8x. Negative 8 times 1 is negative 8, and that is the area that I was after. My combined area is 6x cubed minus 2x squared minus 16x minus 8. How do I get that? It's with a box that has a height of x plus 1 and a length of 6x squared minus 8x minus 8. The exact same answer that we had before. That's what we were shooting for here. Now, all of that work was worth 1 point. I know, that was a whole lot of work that you just did. But remember, I was showing you two different methods. There's long division, and then this is called the array method. Some teachers call it polyduku, like Sudoku. Lots of different options there. Hope that helped.